Triathletes, welcome. We are at the Bodensee in Friedrichshafen at the wind tunnel. Next to me is Philip. He rode a 4:28 in Frankfurt. 7 minutes you lost against Jan Verdena. Now it's time for you to really make up the last minutes towards Hawaii. Getting ready for Hawaii. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, good. Yeah, really excited about being here with Swiss side and like trying those new technologies to improve like the bike split.
Mm-hmm. I heard that you were on the track testing. You told me before not to mention any numbers. They were not so good. So today we really tried to work hard and get the CDA a little bit more down.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what the goal is for today. Just bring those numbers down and so we can have a faster bike split in Kona.
Okay, so stay with us and we will show you how we will reach those goals. Thanks. Okay, behind now is Philip. He's riding about 200 watts, and to the right side is JP. This is the chef aerodynamic guy, and now they are on the second set. And the big advantage of a wind tunnel compared to if you're measuring the aerodynamics on the track is to reproduce how you can reproduce the settings on the bicycle. So for example here you can really look very closely just on the helmet, and then you test 3, 4, 5 helmets through, or you go with the suit. You test just the suit, because as you saw, he showed in the video before, he will just keep his head at the same position, he's at the same position, and then they are going from 0 degrees, both sides 15 degrees, and measure the middle value of the testing. So it starts pretty nice, and he has to ride for a few minutes in that setting, and he's always looking forward downstairs to keep the head at the exact same position. So as soon as he's feeling good at the testing, we will go after. He will test all those different helmets through. This is a Giro, this is a POC, then he's riding at the moment a Met helmet, and depending on his shoulders and how he can position his head, it makes a big difference which helmet you will use. You can see differences 5, 6, 7 watts, just the helmet. Okay? So this will be the next thing. Philip, how's it going?
All good so far. We have tested like a few helmets now and found already a few watts, but still more to come.
And what's the temperature in this room?
Well, I don't know. It's probably like 15 degrees or something.
Okay,
like
is it 16?
It's getting a bit chilly, but
good enough.
Okay.
Good enough. Okay. All right. Good luck.
Measured a lot of helmets, found some really good results, repeated the baseline, baseline repeatability is excellent, so we're measuring with really high precision. Now we've found the best helmet, we're moving to more cockpit setups, so we're going to try different widths, different heights, see what comes out.
Okay, so and as I understand it, to reproduce a position is for you the biggest value, because then you know where to go, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, in terms of reproducing measurements in the wind tunnel, we've got the video projection system that makes sure that the athlete stays in their position. So we really need to be able to make the measurements repeatably the same. So we, after a number of measurements, we always go back to a baseline. We always remeasure it to make sure that we're measuring the same thing.
All right.
Yep.
Some good news are here.
Yeah, good news. We made a big step going narrower with the arms. So we removed the torpedo bottle and went max narrow, which was 8 watts. So
8 watts and about 4 centimeters more narrow.
4 centimeters, 2 centimeters per side narrow. And now we're going a little bit deeper. We're lowering the stack by 5 millimeters. It's the maximum he can go, which is good because it's not a big change for him, because half a centimeter he won't really notice too much. And what's quite interesting is we're seeing that there's a bit of an aerodynamic switch happening in the flow on his back. So going a little bit narrower can actually trigger some interesting performance. So we'll see after this run.
Okay, got it.
That's sure.
Looks good. Looks very good. So we're halfway into the whole measurement. You can see his position is already much better. The helmet nice on the back is flat. We really moved down now inside, and I will show in the video the exercises I have in my book Triathlon Total, about 8 exercises that he must do now in order to be able to ride this position. Please check out those exercises. Alright guys, after many hours of testing and trying out different things, please explain us something about unstable flow condition. Oh, what is this?
Yeah, so we had a phenomenon that we see very often with athletes, and that's whether the flow down their back is stable or unstable. And what that means is if the flow is stable, it stays attached, and you always get the same measurement. So when we test here in the wind tunnel, at each crosswind angle that we test, we're always taking multiple points. And we can see in the numbers, if they're super stable and flat, stable. If they're jumping up and down, we see that the flow is attaching and then it's detaching. And today we really have this stable, unstable flow, but we can then often, there's a lot of potential in this, because if we can get it stable, then we can win a lot of watts. Okay. And so we achieved that today with Philip by going just a little bit lower. So when we only went 5 millimeters, half a centimeter lower, we found 4 watts. And bang, straight away the numbers were stable, so we have stable flow condition. When we went narrow with the arms, same deal, we found a lot. We found there 8 watts, which is a huge amount, but this wasn't really, there was for sure a gain that we were finding by bringing the arms closer together. But there was a gain that we were actually finding because the whole flow condition on the body of Philip was more stable and the flow was staying attached better. So he had a healthier airflow.
Okay.
So, and what was really interesting is we tested 6 different helmets today, and we did lots of repeats to make sure that the helmet was indeed better. And we found actually a better helmet than the Met today. But then when we did the narrower position, the lower position, and we found the more stable flow condition, the helmet that was better before was no longer the best, and the Met helmet was the best again for Philip. And this is what we often say, you can't say this helmet is the best helmet, because it's really dependent on the athlete, dependent on their position, the position of their head, the angle of their back, the angle of their head. So a really interesting test today, but also a really fruitful one, because in the end we found 12 watts of performance, and we're not talking marginal gains on a long distance triathlon. We're talking around 4 or 5 minutes of time saving. So that's a big step.
And please explain us, why is the CDA better if you're going 15 degrees left or right? Why is the CDA, was his CDA better than from the front?
So this is what we call sailing effect. Sailing effect doesn't come from you, from your body, it comes from the bike itself. The biggest contributor to the sailing effect are the wheels, and then a good aero bike frame, and this felt IA time trial frame is a good, it's a triathlon frame. It is a good frame as well. So this setup is sailing very well. And we're seeing 20 watts of sailing effect at 10 degrees of yaw.
So for Hawaii, this is a very important number.
So in Hawaii, you'll be seeing an average of 10 to 15 degrees of yaw, of crosswind angle when you're riding along. So you'll feel the wind coming from the side. And you'll be saving, just because of the wheels and bike setup, 20 plus watts. So the sailing effect is huge.
And how did it feel, this position now? You went 4 centimeters narrow, a little bit deeper. How can you handle this position?
Yeah, I think absolutely. It's just a matter of getting used to the position and doing some like exercises you're going to show me later on. And but absolutely rideable, yeah. And if you hear that you can save like 10 watts, you're motivated to hold that position.
Good. What can we say in general? 10 watts is a minute per hour? Can we say that?
No, more. I mean, 10 watts, we're looking, and we have to look specifically for you with your power and your overall drag level, but we're looking at around 10 watts would be about 3 minutes. But today we found 12 watts, so it's even more than 3 minutes on 180 kilometres.
On 180, okay.
On a long distance.
Okay, so 10 watts is a little bit less than a minute for an hour.
10 watts would be a little bit less than a minute per hour. Yes.
Per hour, okay. Yeah. Okay, got it. So we found today, we can say we found about, if you found 12 watts,
yep,
and he's riding 4.5 hours, we found about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually the main graph we want to look at is the one on the top left. The black line is the Felt IA bike with the Hadron Ultimate 800 wheels. You can see a really strong sailing effect. So what this graph shows, in the middle is 0 degrees of flow angle, and then we see plus or minus 20 degrees of crosswind, of yaw on this graph. And you can see with the black line, which is the Felt bike, and the Hadron wheels, the really strong sailing effect. And then above it, the blue line, you can see the 1989 bike, which shows the exact opposite trend, which is what we call anti-sailing, which means the drag increases with crosswind.
Okay.
And the base drag level already at 0 degrees of yaw is like about 50 watts higher.
Okay. So we also had some fun today. I brought my bicycle from 1989. This is I rode my Ironman in 4 hours and 35, and we retested it, and it's over 300 watts for this time. And it has a grip shift here, you can shift here, and we had for 2.5 kilos we have a seat shifter, so you can move around here. And JP was so excited to test this bike. So explain us a little bit.
Yeah, no, awesome bike, really great opportunity to test this bike. It just shows you the big change that there's been in the last, 1989, what's that? 30 years. 30 years. So the Felt bike alone, we measured this morning, had around about 62 watts of drag at 45 kilometers an hour. This bike, as we just measured it, had 128 watts of drag, so more than the double. Which is cool. The other thing, like we saw on the graph just before, this bike has anti-sailing, which means the drag increases when you see crosswinds, whereas the other bike, the drag decreases when you have crosswinds. So yeah, but nonetheless, we have to always remember the rider is 75% of the drag. So even a bike like this can be fast if you've got a really aero position. But sure, you can save. Like we've just seen, you can save 60-70 watts with a bike compared to this if you want to. So, yeah.
And we had a CDA with him on this of 0.285, correct?
No, a bit more, 0.295.
295.
Yeah. So it's still not a terrible CDA. Yeah. It's still not a terrible CDA. Again, because your position was still pretty good on the bike. So sure, the bike itself has a lot of drag, but your position and your body, which is 75% of the drag, was still pretty good. So,
One more thing.
Yeah.
So this is a scale. Okay, so when I have a scale at home and I measure my weight, I stand on the scale.
Yeah.
Okay, so what actually are you doing here to get this CDA measured? Could you just explain?
For sure. So, at home, when you're measuring your weight, you're standing on a one component balance. It measures the force only in the vertical direction. Now, what we have underneath this setup here is a 6-component balance. Okay. It means it measures all the forces in the X direction, in the Y direction, and in the Z direction, but also all of the moments, so the twisting force in all of those directions as well. And the difference between your bathroom scales at home, which maybe cost you 20, 30 euros, is the scale, the set of the balance that's under here is over 200,000 euros worth, because the main and most important thing when we're wind tunnel testing is we need a really, really precise and repeatable balance system. And that's why this wind tunnel here, amongst other things, is so good, because it's an aerospace wind tunnel and it has an aerospace balance in it, but with the associated cost to go with it. So, yeah.
All right. So, Philip, ready to go for Hawaii?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Now safe 12 watts. So.
Good one.
Yeah, good one, yeah.
So you'll be riding this bike, right?
Yeah, maybe. Let's see in October, yeah.
Okay, I will show on the video also the exercises he's going to do to get his position more down and also make him more relaxed while he rides this position. I will show it on the video upstairs. Huh? Alright, thanks guys for watching, and great day. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, triathletes, as you just saw in the video, Philip gained 12 watts from the front and about 22 on the side. So this has a price. The price is that he must do those exercises that I will describe now, and you'll see it on the picture. Those are 8 exercises, and based on how flexible you are, do them many times a week, and do them in a time that you feel relaxed, and do it with a good amount of breathing and stay relaxed. So first exercise is called plank with touching elbows. Remain in this position for about 15, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Do it 3, 4, 5, 6 times, okay? Very important. Put the elbows together. They should touch each other. Exercise number 2, heel squat aero. Really lean down. Put your upper back to the very down on the floor, and push the head also down to the floor. If you can't, elbows together. Do this exercise 3, 4 times, 15, 30, 45 seconds. Exercise number 3, shoulder press. So just bend over and really press your arms together with your hands. Exercise number 4 is low crotch. Just go down and try to even sit down on the floor. Press your elbows together. Lift your shoulders in a way that you try to close the ears with your shoulders. Do that for 15, 30, 45 seconds, 3, 4 times. Exercise number 5 is the shoulder stretch. This is a very good exercise to reduce frontal area when you ride on your bicycle. So you try again to kind of close your ears with the shoulders, so that you can have a less area that hits the air when you ride through with your bicycle. Do that 15, 30, 45 seconds, 3, 4 times. Then exercise number 6 is the turtle. This is a tricky one. Also try to really push yourself down. Also try to keep the neck very relaxed, and push your hands back. Do that 15, 30, 45 seconds, 3 to 4 times. Then we have the sitting arrow. This is nothing really special. Push yourself down. Try to touch with your belly on your muscles, on your legs, and also try to relax the neck
and the head should go very, very much down. Also try to stretch your arms. Do that 15, 30, 45 seconds, 3 to 4 times. Then the last one is exercise number 8. This is a crossover with arms, but don't hold the arms. You know, the arms should be freely in the air, and you will feel how tight you feel in this area. So stand up straight and cross over the arms without holding at the back. Do that 15, 30, 45 seconds, 3 to 4 times. So those are the exercises you need to do in order to ride those improved aero positions in a comfortable way. Comfortable way means that you can reach a longer area where you can push more watts. Okay?
Thanks guys for watching my videos. If you like my content, I also wrote the book Triathlon Total. One is in German, one is in English, 30 chapters out of 30 years experience in triathlon. Check it out. Thanks.